Good morning, everybody. This wonderful Winterland snowy May 9th. So yeah, I mean, we got a little bit more than flurries yesterday on May 8th. For those that don't know, in upstate New York. And we were getting like little flurries, I'd say, throughout April. And then May 1st through the 7th, still cold, but we still didn't get any flurries. And then all of a sudden, boom, bang, bang, we get like an inch or two dropped on us almost mid-May. No big deal. Sure, normal. Totally normal. All right. So the other big news, as if this is big news, is that Jacre Souza pops hot for the coronavirus prior to UFC 249. A whopping 3 people watching right now. Gotta love it. Thumb it up. 54,000 subscribers and 5 people got my notification. So tough out there. So I watched the face-offs, right? There's a couple things I want to talk about the face-offs first. Sam Alvey, Smiling Sam, kind of a fan favorite. Somebody who I shook his hand in Utica a couple years ago after his Jean Vellante fight. Basically, he went up into the stands and sat behind me, and I was like, oh, Sam Alvey. Shook his hand, monster hands. And when he faces off against Ryan Spanton, this is the first face-off, he goes in for the handshake, and then they do the little bumpage, and at the end, they still shake hands and, you know, give a little bam. And I'm thinking to myself, good, handshaking is not over. Yeah, lovely day indeed. Handshaking is not over. Despite what Fauci says and others tell you, we still can be human beings. Now, the other thing that caught my eye at the weigh-ins was the fact that both Uriah Hall and Jacre Souza had masks on, and they were like standing way across the room from one another. And I thought to myself, all right, well, I guess there's the one paranoid coronavirus face-off, right? Well, turns out wasn't paranoid. Jacare pops hot and there is no fight. The rest of the event will go on. Why is that significant? Well, number one, you would figure that before the face-off, seeing those were the only ones where people were wearing masks and didn't come close to one another, there must have been some kind of an abnormal test before the test where he popped absolutely hot. And it also shows you that no matter how much isolation and testing they're going to do, some people are going to pop hot completely asymptomatically, like he did. Apparently he must have had, or they're reporting that he had a family member with the virus, and that that's how it was passed along to him. Of course, I can't tell you what the chain of events is where he in fact gets infected, because we don't know. We don't know. But you have to understand, guys, the thing about this virus is there are so many people who are catching it and having zero symptoms. Again, you look at the population of homeless in Boston, and the study where almost 400 people were tested, and out of those 400, more than, I think it was 397 were tested, and then like 146, 147 people popped hot. No one was symptomatic at all. So my big question is, because Dana White went on some program yesterday, and he said that Donald Trump is using this as an example of the beginning of reopening not only America but sports, right? Because now they're saying, well, we're going to have an NFL season, but there's not going to be anybody in the stands, and maybe we'll be able to finish the basketball season out. My question is this. You have a guy like Jacare, he's probably in a small group doing a little bit of training. No matter how much isolation, he's got to deal with people, right? One person pops hot on an NBA team, and you are leaning on each other, all of you. You know, everybody at practice is touching one another. How do they not pop hot? You can say, oh, well, MMA is so much more involved. Have you watched a basketball game? I mean, those guys are sweating all over one another. posting up. And once one team plays another, how do a bunch of them not pop hot asymptomatically? And by the way, I'm not saying that we should be canceling sports. I'm saying that instead of all this fear, we need to show that, yeah, this thing may be 5-6 times as contagious, but it's still got a 0.1% fatality rate. That doesn't mean it won't kill more people than the flu. It will, but you know, the fear has to be taken away that, oh, this is going to take everybody out, or that you're going to be forced on a ventilator if you get sick. So to me, the big challenge is to try to like take away the idea that you're not in control of your own body and you're not in control of whatever treatment you want. And you know, one of the big contentions is that they may not have the right type of medication for certain people, or they're running low. You know, somebody was pointing out to hydroxychloroquine in New York, and I said, well, it didn't seem to be that they didn't want to prescribe it. It seemed like they just didn't have the amount that they needed. Is nobody here yet? My coffee people? How many? Just me and you? All right. So guys, I guess I'm gonna just finish it up right here before I go get coffee. I will be live streaming with Ben Askren and Front Row Brian via, you can see it on Twitter and Periscope for the early prelims and the prelims. Then for the main card, we're going to be live exclusively over at Ben Askren's Rockfin for paying members. So if you do endorse me on Rockfin, you can go over there, you can watch that whole thing. I'm so stoked to be doing this and doing a live fight companion with those guys. And I'm going to be dropping some big old truth bombs on not only the MMA community, but on the wrestling community and the Rockfin community. So guys, thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. Remember, I'm fully demonetized on this platform, so if you can financially support me, please do so through the GoFundMe or endorsing me on Rockfin, and then you can check out the Fight Companion while you watch the UFC, the first live sporting event in almost 8 weeks in this country. So guys, I love you. I'll see you on the flip, and hopefully we'll be doing some big videos today.